The P365 Xmacro comp can be called a lot of things, but one thing is for sure, it is not cut from the same cloth as its predecessors. SIG has made some massive strides within the firearms industry the last couple of years, but this pistol breaks the mold of what an everyday carry should be. I won the Xmacro comp in a raffle for $20 and decided to run it as my everyday carry for a year. During that time, I put over 4,000 rounds through the pistol to see if I wanted to keep utilizing it. After a full year, does this pistol still have what it takes to defend my family? Here's what I found next. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. We will have our website in the description and pinned in the comments as well. Big shout out to Nautilus Ammo for sending some excellent ammo our way. Visit them and give their subscription service a view. I really like their 300 Blackout subsonic ammo. You do not need to look any further than both the P320 and the P365 platforms to see how much of an impact SIG has made within the firearms industry. With the first major splash made by SIG in 2018, the P365 came with capacity, modularity, and ergonomics all rocked by a tiny package. It was all the rave. That is, until they dropped both the P365 XL along with the Spectre comp. Not one to stay stagnant with success, SIG conspired to make the best everyday carry on the market by combining all of the best attributes of its predecessors and evolving the preconceived notion of an everyday carry. On August of 2022, the P365 Xmacro comp dropped and was a culmination of all of SIG's successful upgrades. Yet again, the Xmacro rose to the occasion to redefine an entire category of pistols. I combined my pistol with a Holosun 507K and a Tier 1 Access Elite. Wearing the two on an everyday occasion was more comfortable than I expected. Never owning a product from Tier 1, this holster made me a believer immediately. It tucks low in the pants, and the attached wing pushes the pants and belt further, cloaking your pistol. With the extra mag holder, packing 35 9mm rounds is a paradigm shift in everyday carry. I will be making an effort to get a holster with light-bearing capabilities and possibly changing the red dot to a Holosun EPS carry. Not doing these two things in the beginning was a costly mistake on my part. Even though I loved this pistol from the first shots, it wasn't without some issues along the way. The first issue I had with the Xmacro was my huge disdain for smaller pistols. Luckily for me, this tiny pistol shoots more like a full size. When you compare the Xmacro size to other pistols, it more so fits in the Glock 19 category, but slimmer. Its dimensions are 6.6 inches in length, 5.2 inches in height, and 1.1 inches in width, and weighs only 21.5 ounces unloaded. Taller than a Glock, but shorter and skinnier. This aids in its concealability if you are worried about the larger grip and longer slide. Tier 1 holsters paired with the slim features of the SIG offer a near perfect concealability package to people who dress in most fashions. This is the best combo I have ever utilized as an everyday carry. The second issue I had with this pistol was that it simply came from SIG. Finishing issues, cost, a weird trigger break, and possible negligent discharges have all been issues plagued by SIG in the past. Well, most of these issues were non-existent in this pistol. The trigger on the Xmacro is neither good nor bad. Good enough to not affect bullet placement, but not good enough to write much about. The overall finish of the pistol is still in great condition, regardless of the abuse and thousands of rounds placed through it. Some minor signs of wear and tear on the slide and barrel from moderate use are no more than what should be expected. Overall, the P365 Xmacro appears to be a well-constructed handgun that can withstand the rigors of everyday carry, along with some of the extra abuse I give to my pistols, which include human sweat. If there is an area I can criticize in regards to heavy wear, it's in the magazines, the magwell, and the grip modules. The mags were quick to rust after some scratches made by rocks and dirt. It is entirely possible that the extreme heat out on the range and here in Virginia caused my caustic sweat to seep into the bare metal. Not all a huge deal and something I would typically overlook, but at $60 a mag, SIG should do a better job with the coating and construction. The magwell seems to be fragile as well. While it has a minor flare to it, the polymer tends to become marred very easily. Looking into my magwell would lead one to believe I stick serrated knives in there instead of mags. The last issue I had was with the grip modules. They were only changed out once, but even this proved to be too much. Now the rear module flexes when I grip the pistol hard. Although it is barely noticeable, it's definitely there and has been since the first 100 rounds. With this said, I do like the idea SIG had in the modular grips. While it isn't a huge difference, as a guy with larger than normal hands, it's very well received. With the issues out of the way, now let's talk about the things I love about this pistol, and there are a lot more than I expected. First off, one of the many standout features of this handgun is that it is equipped with a standard Picatinny rail dust cover. Perfect pairing for a pistol light, so get one, unlike what I did. The standard 17-round flush fit mags provide best-in-class capabilities without adding any bulk. It's literally the best everyday carry I've come to know. But in my opinion, the greatest attribute of this handgun was the one I was most skeptical about, the ported slide. Yes, it works tremendously well and will for sure spoil you with other handguns equal to or larger than this platform. The hotter the ammo, the more the ported slide works in your favor. I tested this pistol with all the ammo I could get my hands on, but primarily shot Nautilus 124 grain, AAC 124 grain, and Federal 115 grain. I put a couple hundred rounds of defensive ammo through it, which is where the gun shined. The gun is significantly louder than other pistols as well. It reminds me of people shooting a Mark 18 next to me while I shoot a 16-inch recce. It flutters my eyelashes and rattles my brain. The accuracy of the Xmacro was good, but not as good as my Glock marksman barrels. Yes, it shoots tight groupings, and that's all I need in an everyday carry. While the compact size and shorter barrel length may not provide the same level of accuracy as other handguns, the Xmacro is still capable of giving you a comfortable grip so you can keep hitting any target at self-defense distances. First shots will be easy as all pistols are, but with the ported slide, the 17 additional follow-up shots will stack on target, giving you train adequately. As if you couldn't tell, everything feels right on this handgun. The beaver tail is perfect, impeding any chance at slide bite and giving you a high purchase. The grip length is exceptional, allotting for 17 rounds, yet keeping a slimming presence. The ported slide displaces enough gas to keep the pistol flat, and paired with the Tier 1 Axis Elite, it dominates the everyday carry pistol competition. When I shoot this pistol, it reminds me of how great times are in the firearms community. Companies such as SIG and Tier 1 redefining what it means to be protected. The short answer to the question of whether the Xmacro comp still has what it takes is absolutely. I have yet to find a gun I'd rather utilize, but with new products dropping all the time, who knows what the future holds.